once it comes in, but a yellow ping here might guide the Lambs to a kill with a grenade.
That's it. They're just trying to see if they can get the swing in the side of somebody, and they're not quite able to find the connection that they're after. The sprays come through and the bodies go down. Hungry suffers, but Rafal is also down in the meantime, and look where that diffuser is. Oh, that's kind of firmly in the G2 territory. Anvil on the far side of Freezer for the longest time, but nothing ever really came towards him. So he's now in a situation where he's just got to try and drop it like it is, and it's hot, but it's dropped. And it's G2 that are able to pull the first. Waiting for the pressure, waiting for the bait here, and well, there's no more waiting going to come through. Virtue, he's crept his way down via Zulu. He's going to see if he can take the fight, but it is being watched. Hungry was there as a bit of support, but as Brede takes the first fight, that's an important pickup from Alems. Hungry bites back, though. Now he's going to swing up the bottom. Didn't expect it so quick, and as Brede sticks the plant, it's just Citizen left. He is the back corner of the site itself, but there's nowhere he can really go. They seem to have an idea on his number. He's going to find the first and swings round, goes for the second and finds it too. And now in a 2 versus nobody. Brede gets some revenge there just as Citizen started to do Citizen things. Attention and focus paid through. He was revealed, and luckily for him, that intel's played towards him. So instead, he goes for the main entrance staircase itself. Citizen's still on a mission to try and retake, and Renshiro's going to make that a bit tougher. But there's Kayak, strikes through one, and there's Citizen, strikes for a second. Another combo of kills, and Brede puts the balance back into even halves. 2 versus 2, and Hungry is the last one inside the site itself. He knows where the breach is, but with 15 seconds, they've got to make a very quick decision here, and it's going to be for the split push. Citizen has the call on the procs. They're actually going to go wider and wider, but there it is. Hungry strikes from the important side. Brede knows that he had to at least try and take the vertical side here. Can't quite find anybody in time. And G2 find a second there either way, so it gives the game away that someone's making an approach. Sprays through, doesn't quite get the connection. 20 seconds now, and they got to see if they can try and take the actual push. The first goes their way, the second goes back against them, and now they're going to see if they can lock it out. Citizen, once again, threads more than a kill around. There's one more. And if you said Shaiko hasn't quite shown up, Citizen definitely has 8 seconds left. Renshiro at least gets some revenge. Can't quite get the connection with the next. All they got to do is sit and wait. But they don't even give them that. G2, third round.
Properly.
Renshiro waits for the swing, but Kayak finds it anyway. He had a bit of an idea that someone might come and find the fight, but I guess the little delay it took Kayak to get there was all he needed. There's the second pickup, potentially. They would have heard each other's audio, maybe heard the drone pop up, but cannot quite get it. Brede gets the swing back around, still massively injured and still a lot to do, and now even less to do it with as Citizen finds yet another round, yet another kill. There's a lockdown, yet another double kill for Citizen now, 12-2. And it's up to Brede with not much health, but he doesn't quite find it as Hungry locks it off. G2, 4-1. Are you going to get him? No.
No, Brede, he was close, but decided to just rotate off. It was too dangerous to go for that pickup there, and if you went for the auto window, you might have gotten into a frostmate yourself as well, and that will be double trouble. Either way, it's just 2 left now. Brede picks up a great kill onto Virtue from above, and that turns it into that 2v2 in a position now where they can go for a plant, and that's exactly what they go for. 40 seconds on the board, but it soon turns into 45 in favor of the attackers, as Citizen now knows they need to start heading back towards that site, as it is only up to him and Hungry now.
Very clever for them to go for the diffuser plant and see if they can get that secured here, and it makes it a little bit tricky. Obviously, they're going for the top-down take. They're going to make sure that the verticality is clear first of all, and they might be able to find a catch on an angle. Almost a toe through a floor. Hello? Is this a repeat?
Oh,
no, but it's a hell of a bit of intel there as they swing through and get the drop via the security room. Now Rafal all left, and all that is left with a sliver of health and barely anything else, but look at the timer on the defuse. They have to throw themselves into the room because, oh no, it's too late. At this point, they're not going to get there. They were just held off. Sure, you get a double frag at the end there, but you'd already won the round just because G2 didn't throw themselves through.
Right in that corner. If G2 realize that quick enough, but it seems like a bit of pressure comes in from the attic now as well. They might be pinching him right on. Virtue, what a shot is that? Wasn't even meant for the player in Shiro, but he manages to find him.
Trophy door, he's trying to find somewhere to sit and maybe lead back in, but the drone's still going, still revealing where these players are, and you assume double window. No, dropped and responded by Shaiko. The Jaeger finds a bit of pressure, and now, well, there's the response, the revenge. Citizen, one player left. It's a spray through on the window. They know exactly where he is, and Citizen, one more for the work left to do, and not a huge amount of time left to do it.
Definitely not, but 3 players were located near the back stairs. There's definitely less pressure from BDS on the, well, laundry side of things, so that's what they're trying to go for now. With just 18 seconds on the clock, grenades are being tossed out. That gives at least the call that the freezer itself is clear, but as a Prisma gets shot, they are aware of Citizen's position. They need to start pushing in now. There's a guy right behind the bomb chassis. It's Rafal waiting to be flashed, and he's not going to be able to pick up the kills, but G2 are falling apart with the last second left. It is BDS that pick up the round, and they are starting to close that gap. So you have the opportunity to try and go for it as Shaiko just spots a player go past there. That is, of course, going to be that Maverick of Kayak, who now gets up onto the highway here, takes a bit of damage, but manages to stay safe for now. 15 seconds on the clock, and they need to hurry on G2's side.
Well, it's coming from every which way, and Shaiko's still going to try and lean into the pressure here, but once again, we're seeing a bit of a scramble here from G2 to actually get into the site. There's a door locked, there's Virtue picking up an important kill, but Shaiko swings round. Renshiro slips away. They're going to know that he's gone for a bit of a route round underneath, but that gives them the idea that there's only really 2 players on the site itself, and now there's only 1. Jonka swings round, gets another pickup here. Rafal is left a little bit wanting as they found the meeting room entirely empty, and now in a post-plant situation, great take from great intel, but not enough now. Kayak with the triple. The drone gives the read that they've found their way underneath, and here, when they needed it most, G2, they've exploded. It's about to explode as soon as the push starts to come through. Shaiko is in a position to swing around here onto the door. The blinds start to come through, don't quite catch him. There's the E1D and the smokes to lock the door as well. A lot of people can't quite see, but Renshiro finds clarity, and Alems gets the follow-up there. It's battle back and forth, but finally, they've been able to take some ground, and with only a handful of seconds, the diffuser cold, they've got to see if they can find this last firefight. Brede locked in on the back line, gets the first take, and it's the smoke on Citizen! Just on the freezer swing!
And the Citizen is coming right from below. He's being quite careful about someone being available in that kitchen or able to continue to stand there. A grenade will be tossed in and can catch Shaiko off guard. No, but does get the ADS though. Continues to push on as he does get taken out, as he gets the kill into Brede. There's only 2 members left on BDS though. It's Rafal and Shiro. They need to clutch this out if they want to live on, but it's Rafal left now and he's not on the site. Are G2 aware of this?
Well, he's trying to desperately make his way back up the bottom of white stairs now, and Yonka's able to theoretically get the diffuser around there, spraying and Scrappy, and Virtue threads it together, and the first map goes the way of G2. Spot of clarity. Hungry is going to try their best to buy some time, and that's going to be the next point that BDS have to try and lock down on, because that swing towards the default plant is the danger. Yonka sprays through, can't quite get the full connection, but does drop them down with Kayak picking up the revenge himself. Virtue dropped on the swing. There's a little bit more, but look at the diffuser. Look at where it is and where it's isolated. BDS, 20 seconds. They've got to see if they can recollect that and actually throw themselves into the site, but Hungry is still buying time. Alems finds it and goes and sticks inside the smoke itself. One more. They're not entirely sure where the plant is going down, and Alems, is he going to get it stuck? He just does, and wasn't actually taking damage from that fresh smoke. The shotgun swings around the corner, does a huge bout of damage as the spray comes onto Janitors. It's just Hungry left. In a 2 versus 1, 30 seconds, and there's one on the windows and one just around here on the square swing. The ping in the wrong place, unfortunately, and BDS just find that round.
Drones are coming through. Rafal aware and pinging the position of that Maestro. Then Citizen gets another kill. A grenade potentially might be tossed in here from Renshiro's side. They have 2 available to them, but instead go for the peek, and now they're lost. It's Virtue that picks up 1 and goes for a second and somehow lends that one as well. It's only up to Brede now in the elevator, but he will be shut down. Citizen with another kill as well. G2, they managed to lock off this locker side.
It's a bit of a giveaway, and the canister starts to pop off, and Shaiko finds Virtue. He wanted to slip out of there. I don't think he wanted to get isolated inside stock, but now with another body behind that shield, it puts the grenade round to just remove that utility. There's a bit of a shake there against Yonka, who's going to move himself a bit closer, but as Brede tries to stick the diffuser, Hungry actually is able to connect the smoke this time. It should get stuck down, and Brede gets shut down by Hungry on the swing, but it's steel destruction coming from underneath. It's sprayed all over the side. There's bodies on the windows in the back line as Renshiro gets one more from the window play that he was once famous for. Hungry Hungry with a hell of a take on an SMG. Cannot quite get the connection with the 2 remaining players outside, and it's very tricky because you can't get too aggressive here. Gonna see if they can at least smoke off one of the players, go for a bit of a movement, and see if they can get a long arm here just on the corner. Can they get the connection? They're able to find the first ping and goes for the take on the first player. Swung out, but Renshiro for his 4th. Gets even further and further down, and they obviously still have the players on top of square as well, but here, stacked up, and that wall starts to fall. Alems has a bit of a clear sight onto a site itself with Rafal trying to get a bit of a split push here onto that little box office, just so they can get that connection towards that default plant, but it's going to have to be a bit of a cautious pressure. 15 seconds, and Alems swings through, gets dropped down. Citizen is the door that they meet. 10 seconds, and the pings are still coming through. The drop comes on the hatch, the diffuser drops too, and they've just got to be able to make sure they can't go get the connection with the floor, and they stick it through. Hungry locks it off, and BDS can't quite find the finish.
Still out there. Now one of those drones does get spotted. Renshiro goes on the hunt as he descends these main stairs, but surely will be spotted very soon. It's the Pels that is well aware. He gets the kill, but traded as well immediately right after. And they'll use it only to Rafal out here to try and win this basement attack.
50 seconds, 3 versus 1, and his boots hit the ground quite heavily. The first fight, he can't quite get the full connection that he wants. Citizen knows he doesn't have to overextend. He's just going to wait and play against the audio, and he just pulls back into the gold vault, and now he's going to see if he can go maybe for a little bit more of a solid stick. There's a head, there's a Citizen kill, and there is a G2 round. They're going to see if they can maybe drop it, but don't quite have the solidity. They're still aware that Hungry's inside the site itself. He's moving and manipulating. He goes on a drone in a very tricky, tight situation, and Lems isn't gifted with a freebie, but is getting a bit of revenge there. Yonka had to spray through, tried to save Hungry, who was maybe moving a drone at that point, but accidentally cost him his life, so makes up for it with one more take against Shaiko. But that means Citizen's got to try and dig their way back through onto site. They still have some of the verticalities, and they're hoping that the swing starts to come through. Jumping either side, 10 seconds, and the cool's going to come through sooner rather than later. If he can just get a sliver of a body here, if he can find that planter, that is the big take. They have a watch, they have a bit of a beat there, and Renshiro has one more, but they're not on the default plant, and that is a big moment that has slipped, unfortunately, away from them, and BDS, they pull themselves inside even, and as that gets opened up, they're still just drone checking, but now that 50 seconds has turned to 20 very quickly. They're going to open up just by this mute jammer, and Bride is in a position to try and lock it off. 15 seconds, and there's the feet, and that gets dropped, and Bride finds his opener, and that is the diffuser, quickly picked up and changed sticks. They're going to see if they can get the connection, and it's Bride that locks it off with the shotgun popped off for 1 versus 1. Can't find it, BDS! They're going to keep putting this pressure. There's still Shaiko to get through. There's still Tachanka flame grenades to get through. There's still potentially a bubble that's going to zap them as soon as they try and go for a default plant. And with only 20 seconds, they really don't have time to bait or juggle this utility. A misplay from Bride, but he's able to at least pop one of those towards the far side once again. They've got themselves on the hatch pressure, but they're going to have to dig deeper than a default here. They do not have the time to wait around and waste on this fire. The smokes come through, the plant position comes out, and Kayak's going to see if he can stick it as the spray happens over the top and the shoulder. Now you expect BDS to try and apply some pressure here, and the push and the swing on the door itself. Shaiko gets the first. Shaiko doesn't get the second, but Bride sure does, and Citizen Round finds it and puts it into a 1 versus 1. The verticality is what's currently in the favor of Renshiro, but with 30 seconds, they're going to take the drop, and Shaiko takes a round. Shaiko even Citizen! It's the English Shaiko!
Multiple angles he needs to cover off though. Traces the C4 and gets the kill in time, but with 40 seconds left on the clock, G2, they need a bit more than that.
They're going to try and cover themselves on the far side and see if they can swing around, but Shaiko has the lockdown from the office, and Bride has one more for the door. Now it is Hungry on the windows, and Yonka able to actually get another connection here, but it's the 2 remaining players in 20 seconds. They've been able to recollect the diffuser at this point, but they still don't have the clarity here of janitors, and that's the big issue, because Renshiro in his power position can spray through, not for any longer. Shaiko, though, bites back. Any position he's in is seemingly a power position, and now it's Yonka to see if he can at least find a connection. Drops one, will have the call, looks for the second, only a handful of seconds, and not many more bullets. Isn't quite sure where the last player is, but Shaiko, he had that office locked down.
Citizen is looking to take the gunfight here to Bride, but doesn't quite have the angle as Bride is waiting shortly and closely. Remember, inside a Janitor, LMs is going to be crucial here. That doesn't allow Citizen to move through. They need to get that kill to start pushing, but as the kills are coming through right now, it's only up to BDS now, who is still hiding close, gives away his position as he takes the gunfight. Smoke canisters are being tossed out as Candelas are coming in as well. Catches off Virtue as he drops through the hatch, but a 1v4 situation, completely blind, is being won here by G2.
Little bit shaky for G2, the trade of the diffuser and the push round, but it's a backline of BDS gunners that they're going to have to meet, and that bubble is giving absolutely everything away. And they don't need to open it. It is playing this intel game as the Candelas go out far and the smokes go close. They're going to see if they can cover themselves a bit of momentum here and blind absolutely everything, but that's not going to stop the swing round. Shaiko's going to see if they can make the connection, and Virtue is going to lock off the first fight, can't find it. They're going for the pings, the sprays across the board, and there it is over the top. BDS with 2, one more for Shaiko, and the bubble locks it up.
Cannot do that as long as these cluster charges continue to go off, and as long as Shaiko has a line of sight. Now that one has been blocked out. It's LMs that tries and go aggressive and will find a kill, but he gets traded out by Citizen, who goes for a second and gets it down into Rafale as well. 45 seconds soon on the board.
Yonka goes for the stick, and Hungry gets Shaiko over the meantime, and now they've been able to find one more Citizen over the top, and it's Citizen locking it off either side. OT is where we go. On the roam and the movement, he hears a bit of shuffling, but he doesn't quite get the connection that he wants here. With 2 grenades in pocket, the ping's going to come through, and the spray is just a little bit too high for the slow creep of the player. There's a shotgun just around the corner here that Kayak can't quite get past without some convincing. They're going to see if they can smoke off the movement, and the cover comes through. One more smoke canister in 15 seconds, and suddenly it's Citizen with a grenade and the go, go, go as they drive themselves to the back, break the camera, and see if they can stick it on the far side. But it's got to be a bit of a lockdown here. BDS tries to go for some movement. Hungry has the lockdown. Yonka with one more, and Citizen with a backline. G2, it's down to Shaiko, and he's able to get the opening too. But with the 2 players left on the corner, they're able to slip their way out. They've got a bit of a crossfight and a fire either side. He finds one more. Can he get the last? It's a spray through over the top. He gets it, Shaiko! With a 4K to match the performance of Citizen the round before. Neither an ace, but both just as exceptional. So has already been able to do a huge amount of work here. And as the wall for the default gets popped open, Citizen's not quite sure on where he wants to lean in because both hatches are being watched. The smoke canister drops a little bit of cover here. They're going to see if they can lean the backpack in and go for the plant. The call comes through, but there's a man on the hatch. Sprays through, and Shaiko gets one, and Citizen gets one more, and somehow finds his way out of there. And now it's a 2 versus 1. BDS on the floor. They're not going to be able to get him back up. Rafale is trying to find some cover. A fantastic flank around one side. But this has suddenly turned into the Citizen and Shaiko show. Honestly. And they just keep stepping up.
They got absolutely nothing. They now only start to push up these spiral stairs. They will have to do so quickly. Grenades are being tossed in. They need these first 2 kills, Emmy.
Well, the grenades go around either side. They're able to try and put some pressure here. The smoke canister covers it, but it's Renshiro and a little bit of accidental fight on Renshiro. Renshiro and BDS keep BDS chugging along. Yonka on the far side is able to find one. It comes back round against them now, and that's Kayak. He slipped his way inside the site, is able to pick up a freebie because of it and takes care of the bulletproof, but those castles mean either side is about to become a pretty bit of fight. We are going to map 3.
Being expelled into that bathroom. BDS is just waiting for the call to start pushing through, and I'm not quite sure if they have any yokai still in a position where they can try and deny that plant.
Well, now they're going to see if they can drag the stick down. Hungry loses a very important firefight there as BDS is able to make the connection with the floor. They can't quite get the recollection that they want to here, and Yonka's suffering from every which way, and Citizen is at least able to get an opener here. Takes care of the player on the backside, but BDS means that he's the only player left, and Alems locks it off on the far side. BDS open up with an attack. A little bit of caution here, but look, ready to go. Swing around the fight. It's over the shield and over the top. The call will come through, and the first drop goes their favor. Yonka's caught out, and the spray doesn't quite get the connection. There it is. Kayak over the top of the shield for one. Can't find the second, but there's Virtue with one more, and Virtue with one more. Rafale is all that's left, and Citizen equals the kill record for a series in Siege.
And different move that he needs to pull off here. He needs to go by quickly. Successfully done that, but his position is given away by the Banshee. There's also still going to be that down player that gets confirmed now. Kayak out of play. 2 on 3. One member still quite low on the side of G2, but with a Nitro in hand, and that one will be key. It's going to be in a default position here, but BDS goes for an alternate plant spot here next to the door, so Citizen needs to swing around.
He takes the pre-fire. He doesn't quite slip all the way past, but there's the pickup. There it isn't. Renshiro locks himself in with a gun that has a seemingly endless amount of bullets. He makes sure the one he shoots matters.
Play now, at least not from below. Of course, Hungary still carries one, can try and toss it over, but there's going to be the opportunity to just snipe it out as it comes through. Now, a lot of utilities being used. Renshiro gets yet another killed Citizen that got caught off. I'm not quite sure what that angle was, all the way through that wall, through the second wall as well, into logistics. But that is going to be putting G2 down with yet another man in a 3-on-5 right now, which is looking very good for BDS.
But 15 seconds, and they've got to see if they can make this execute come together. Bride's going for the plant, and Yonka has Rafal covered. It's a swing round, and it's an important take there as the C4's over the top, but they can't quite find the connection. And now it's Virtue dancing either side. Is the only player left, and he's got to get through 3 more. But it only takes 1 to have the cover. BDS find the second in a row. Pop the dance and the grenade that almost forces them out, but the Habana that's really going to cement it. Citizen, 1 more for the tally. The spray round onto the fake, but the drop of the mirror window just opens it up for Virtue to now put them into a 5 versus 2.
Good call to stay aggressive there. He knew it was going to be in his advantage, as he, of course, already knew where the Maverick was at that point. Maverick had no opportunity, Rafal that is, to lock into him before. This is only up to Bride now. Bottom of blue will be spotted here. Pings are coming out. He knows exactly where one is, but there's so many more members on the side of G2. Finds the first, though. Yonka taken out, but still needs to go for the ace clutch. Finds another one before he gets taken out by Citizen, who is now on kill 52.
Swing there almost cost them, as Rafal is pretty costly himself, but Bride is on the door, waiting to see if they can swing round. Citizen is the one that they're about to meet, though. Can they get the sliver? Bride deep dives and goes behind for the plant itself. There is the impact on it itself. They're not quite on the default plant, and Rafal is able to get the cement on 1, and BDS get the 4-2. Over lounge, they're going to spray through, and the pings are still coming towards the top of garage, but as that gets open, Virtue just deep dives his way through onto the site. Alems finds Kayak, and Virtue finds himself a little bit isolated, but whether they know he's there or not, they're going to find out sooner rather than later. A slow crawl and a fight over either side as Alems gets 1 more, and just sort of isolated inside. Jonka pushes, and Alems for a triple for the round, and at one point you're wondering what's going to lock in, and nothing for Virtue is the answer there. They had an idea, but BDS had a better one. Pretty impossible drop to take in the best of times, but there's at least a little bit of safety. There it is, a close swing, and that's unfortunate. Renshiro gets the double, so the post-mortem nade actually finds Rafal in the meantime. Maybe didn't know that had come through. Citizen has 1 more, but the diffuser being down in Moto makes things a little bit trickier. Utilizes behind the explosive to try and get a little bit of momentum. There's an echo drone, though, and that's going to be a bit of a frustration as there's a big call coming through. 20 seconds, and Hungary is making a hefty move, I believe, around onto Oil Pit as well. They're going to see if they can force 2 fights, but the first goes away from them. They at least battle back. There's a swing round close. Citizen somehow wins it, but 15 seconds, and they still got to try and find a way through, and there's an echo still on the board as well. A deep dive from Hungary either side as Citizen goes to see if he can stick it, but Alems has a different story, and I said he was big in the previous round, and he's going to keep that size on the site itself. They took fights. Ooh, and they didn't quite take that C4.
He was going to get that one, but he didn't. And that means there's 60 seconds left. The main weapon of G2 has been taken out of the equation here. And now the rest of G2 need to push through. It's their time to shine. It's Hungary that gets the very first and brings it back to a 4-on-4. A bit of cover is out there, but smoke canisters block their line of sight into the gym. As 45 seconds are on the clock, they need to start pushing through. There's still a yokai in place. The kills and the trades are continuing to happen here. And as the plant surely goes through soon, it's the yokai that gets taken out next. 2-on-2, and we continue going on for the trade.
Now they're going to see if they can try and fight their way back through. Virtue's baiting on a plant on the opposite side as Hungary has all the lockdown and control he can muster here behind the gym materials. They're going to see if the solidity is all that it can keep, but it's the swing round, it's the BDS round, and it's the end of the road as we find BDS are maneuvering forward, and G2 so close, but unfortunately it goes the way of the French.